Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's broadcast of Surrounded by Love. Today is Wednesday, July the 1st, 2020. Can you believe it? We're at the beginning of another month. This year has gone by. We are in the seventh month. We have crossed over into the second half of the year. And I'm more than sure everybody is probably like, I hope the second half is better than the first half. And I believe it shall be. If you believe that and you focus on that, in spite of what it may look like, what may come, and hold on to your belief and have faith in it, I believe it'll happen. I believe the second half will be much better. So, yesterday we talked about wisdom and decision making, and that is a necessity. It's something that we need, we all need, no matter in what detail or whatever realm the decision you have to make. It doesn't matter whatever it's for. It could be work, family, relationship, finances, just any area of your life. You need wisdom. You do. You need it every day. So, with that being said, wisdom in decision making, it brings me to another question, and it's, what are you willing to leave behind? Because when you make a decision, when you're put in a situation like you have to make a choice or you have to make a decision, something has to get left behind. For whatever area you're making a decision in, you want to move forward, you want to have progression. You definitely need momentum to keep it going because you're doing it because it's something that you want to accomplish. It's a goal, it's a priority, it's a necessity. It doesn't matter, but what are you willing to leave behind in order for it to come to pass? And then when you're making decisions, we have different factors that affect us when it comes to making decisions. And I think one of the main factors, I think that plays a role in what we choose, what we say, where we go, where we live, even careers that we choose, is relationships. Relationships can affect you or influence you in every area of your life, whether you want to admit to it or not. You can deny it, but relationships play a big part in the way we see ourselves, our identity, even how people perceive us. People can make assumptions or presumptions about you based on the company that you keep. So, relationships are important. And for some of us, we have cultivated healthy relationships, but that's more than likely due to the fact that we have gone through some unhealthy or dysfunctional situations, unhealthy or dysfunctional relationships. They could be personal, it can be family, even career oriented. Some of us have dealt with things unknowingly or just being naive because it was something new to us that we didn't have experience in or didn't just it just caught you by surprise. So with that being said, sometimes you have to cut some off. You have to leave some people behind because when you have people around you, in this point, wrong people around you, it creates an environment. And more than not, the environment is negative. It's some form of manipulation. And when I say manipulation, is no truth nowhere in there. It's no light. It's lies, it's deception, bondage. Like it keeps you tied to a narrative that's not true. And you stay with it because you feel as if it's a false sense of loyalty. And it's not benefiting you at all. It really tears you down and it hinders you. It does. It's a hindering situation. You're not at liberty. You don't have any freedom. You have all this built up tension and anxiety in your body, stress, and that affects you in various ways in your health, in your body, and it shows. So when you're involved in relationships like that, you can't expect to grow. As soon as you start to come to yourself and you start to think and observe for yourself, like, wait, this isn't working, something about this isn't right, and you may like try to ask questions or bring information of something that you learned to bring light to a situation, and then you get backlash because they're not accepting of it because it's different. You want to be different now. You know, you were going along with the program, so everybody was fine just as long as you're going along with their program. And a lot of times people benefit from situations like that. You're suffering, but they're the ones that to gain because more than not, they need you to keep it going. You may not see no value in yourself. They will deny the value that you have and that you carry to benefit themselves. So you're going to have to make choices to, you're going to have to leave some people behind. If you want to move forward, if you want to have a life outside of mediocrity, you have to work for it. And it's going to be some tough choices that you're going to have to make in the end. And also, with making decisions and coming to the crossroads of what are you willing to leave behind, when you look at some people or you make evaluations, look at their lives. Their lives show the fruit of their character. If it's always the same thing consistently, going around and around from year to year, even though you may hope for the best for them, but they may not want it for themselves. And they may not want you to have it as well. So that's why people want you to stay. A lot of times it's because they chose not to do better. They don't want to see you do better. And for you to get to your next, whatever that means to you, whatever next, you fill in the blank. Next, whatever it is, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. You do. Like, we don't like talking about it, but it's true. It's true. If their life is going in a constant cycle, how can they bring positivity or direction to you? The direction is of what not to do and that you need to move on. That's the direction that you're receiving. And a lot of times we don't want to see, and our favorite pass is, well, that's just the way that they are. That may be so, but that doesn't make it right. And that doesn't mean you have to accept it or continue on in their show. What are you willing to leave behind? Are you willing to leave your mindset? So we talked about people or relationships bring environments, and in those environments come mindsets, paradigms, belief systems, things that are embedded in you that will hinder you, have hindered you. We're in the second quarter of this year. So if you have been thinking, speaking, behaving the same way for 10, 15 years and you have nothing to show for it, clearly you need to change. You need a change in your mind. You might as well settle that in yourself because it's not working. And as we talk day to day on this program, life has changed. Whether you want to accept it or not, society has changed. So if you were accustomed to just being negative Nancy on your job, when you go back, or if you go back, if you're back now, that will not work. It won't. It won't. Even in mindsets, we develop a victim mentality, wrong mindsets. We develop a victim mentality. So we attribute our hardships or difficult situations or difficult times in life, we attribute it to, or we want to push it off on other people. We want to deflect it because we don't want to take ownership in our decisions or choices, things that we did contrary to advice that was given, warnings that we received. We chose it because that's what we wanted to do. And so when you living out or you dealing with the consequences based off those situations, it's no one's fault but your own. So you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. If you have to apologize to some people, own it. Apologize, forgive yourself, and move on. Playing a victim of circumstance will keep you trapped. And that is a mentality that you will have to leave behind. But the question is, are you willing? The last that I have, so we talked about relationships, we talked about mindset, and the most, to me, the most powerful of them all is speech, complaining, whining, because it all, what you say affects everything around you. It affects your relationships. It affects the way you think. Because what you say is actually what's in your mind and what's in your heart. It shows who you really are. And it's the last one on my list for today, but it's, to me, it's the most important. You can't go through life yelling, cussing, fussing, always disruptive, never have anything positive to say, criticizing others, always so critical on others, but you don't consider yourself. You gossip, you backbite, you're full of strife, anger, bitterness. You know, it's like you're conceited, you're narcissistic. You know, like all of these things, and all of that has, to me, the base of it all is rejection, or things that you suffered or you encountered in life that you haven't dealt with, unresolved issues, and you bury them in your subconscious mind, and it comes out in your speech because it shows what you really believe. You may deflect it on other people or situations, but at the end of the day, it's how you see yourself. You become overly critical about people, what they look like, what they wear, their hair, their makeup, what they drive, what they eat. I mean, some people, you know, like they create environments so where people walk on eggshells, like they create anxiety or fear, or you make yourself unapproachable. But you say you want new opportunities. You say you want to move forward. You want this lavish, luxurious lifestyle, but you can't create it that way. And there's nothing wrong with wanting things and wanting to have them, but if you speaking all of this negativity, is no way that's going to happen, because you're going to reap the words or seeds, and when you sow them, that's what you're going to reap in return. So if that's you, seek forgiveness, forgive yourself, stop it. Even being racist, sexist, a womanizer, a bigot, like if you have any of those things, you engage in those type of conversations, you're going to have to leave that alone, because it's not going to work out for you. You're going to bring disaster into your own life. You know, you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't lie to yourself or God, because He knows. The things that you say, you are going to live them. A lot of times we say things and we don't understand the power of our words. The things you speak over your family members, over your children, over yourself, your finances, your career. you're gonna reap a harvest of that. You can't go around thinking when something don't go your way, or someone brings constructive criticism to you, that you just can flash out, oh, I'm gonna cuss so and so out and think that's gonna work out, or they not gonna play with me. But who are you? Because if you went somewhere looking for a job, clearly you need to be there. And with that kind of mindset and attitude, you're going to get yourself out the door. No one will do it to you. You will do it to yourself. It's only a matter of time. So that was the question today. What are you willing to leave behind? Are you willing to leave behind hindering relationships? Are you willing to leave behind hindering mindsets? Are you willing to leave behind your negative speech patterns? So those are things you can ask yourself. You know, in the Bible it talks about come out from among them and be separate. It talks about being holy, being separate. That in itself is a mindset. It's an environment that's different from what you see other people may live in. If you want good things, you need to create that environment and space in yourself. It first starts on the inside. You know, it what you do, the work you do on the inside of you, it will come out, it will show. And then it will cause your environment or your life, it will come in order, because you're going to get yourself in order. Instead of worrying about other people, you're going to first consider yourself. Because that's how transformation comes. We're at the second half of the year. The first half, yeah, it was turbulent for some. It wasn't turbulent for everybody, because it's all in how you see it. 2020 is really like a time for reset. It's all in how you see it, how you process it. If you look at it negatively, that's what you're going to get. But if you want good things, change your perception. And out of the three things that we talked about today, choose which one you want to, and you'll see a change in yourself. And once you do that for yourself, you'll make better choices. You'll have the wisdom that you need. And you'll have the courage to do it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the likes and the comments. I appreciate them all. So you can follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram. My handle is at D as in Danielle, Liz, Liz, Caesar, Ceaser. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Surrounded by Love. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions, you can email them to me at surroundedbylove20@gmail.com. Again, that's surroundedbylove20@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. It's July, so welcome to the second half of the year, and we're gonna come back on tomorrow. Have a good day.